Hello and welcome back again to World Talks. I'm Anna Kalczyńska. Crowds on the streets of Bucharest demand justice for Călin Georgescu, a late runner in the annulled presidential elections. As the Supreme Court banned him from taking part in the rerun, Romania has become the textbook example of foreign interference concerns over the democratic electoral process. This geopolitically important country is now at the center of transatlantic dispute between allies of the US president and European centrists who fear the crucial election is being manipulated by the Kremlin. To elaborate on the situation in Romania, we're now joined by Eusebiu Slavitescu, political analyst. Good morning. Good to have you, Eusebiu.
Thank you for having me again.
So the rerun is scheduled for May.
Yeah.
And the process of electing Romania's new president should be over by now. Unfortunately, the investigators continue their work. Has the evidence, the strong evidence, been provided?
As of now, not enough, if you ask me. I've seen, again, it's an ongoing investigation, and these things take some time. We do, however, getting a lot of information, some of them, left by the prosecution in the media, some telephone recordings, for example, where a very good friend of Mr. Georgescu, who has been funding him, we now know, for example, a mercenary who is active in Africa, a Romanian, has been providing cars at his disposal, has been providing around $10,000 to $20,000 monthly cash. And now we have the SMS exchange between Mr. Georgescu and Mr. Hora Potru. So this is something. We also now know the same mercenary, after a perquisition investigations, they have found under this house, hidden, like in some TV Netflix show, $1.5 million cash, along with a full arsenal of weapons, and also 25 kilometers of gold. So for somebody who declares zero spending for his political campaign, the closest people around him, a lot of millions of dollars are being found.
Yes, but that doesn't seem to convince the crowds in Bucharest and the supporters of Călin Georgescu. Why not going public with all this information and going for a process with him? Because banning him from taking part in the rerun could cause unrest, and has already caused unrest, as we see.
Well, first, let me say, because I've seen a lot of reporting, huge protest and stuff. There hasn't been any huge protest. Yesterday, after the decision, the ruling, we had a few hundred people.
Mm-hmm. A lot of clashes with police.
Yes, that is true, and that is very unfortunate. Of course, Romania didn't need this moment. Let's face it. Nuking an election, a presidential election, it's really bad. That is the essence of a democratic process, and we just cancelled us. Again, as I said, it's an ongoing investigation. I think more and more information will come out. I'm strongly hoping at some point we will have the full picture presented by the prosecutions, with whom the judges will decide. Until we don't have a decision by the judges, we just don't know. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Romania is in a pretty difficult spot right now. We are in the middle of this international far-right extremist current wave that we've seen everywhere around Europe right now, and somehow Romania is in the very center of it, between Moscow and the US. And somehow a lot of the messages converge on this topic, which is, let's say, elegantly, sort of sad.
Well, yes, understandably, having all the domestic institutions against him, Călin Georgescu tries to internationalize the whole process and his own difficulties. So people's grievances that we see on the streets of Bucharest have been somehow confirmed by the Trump administration.
If I can add a comment. Mm-hmm. I know I've seen a lot of reporting and headlines and Twitter and tweets about how undemocratic yesterday's decision has been, and even cancelling the first round has been. But let me be very clear. And I think the President of Romania, Prime Minister, every minister, State Secretary, and every single diplomat around the world should say what I'm about to say. It is not undemocratic to ban a fully fascist, anti-Semite, who has been fully backed with millions of dollars by Russians, Russian massive interference. This is not undemocratic. It is the very essence of democracy. Because in democracy, we have rules. We have laws. If we don't respect them, then what is democracy? In Romania, to transparently and publicly support a fascist is against the law. Mm-hmm. The criminal law sees it.
So
and
why,
so on and so
why
forth.
not incriminate Călin Georgescu with such a charge?
Well, he has already been indicted. So we have a first indictment. We have 6 indictments. Some of them go between 15 and 25 years of prison. I think he's going to end up in jail. More and more evidence are being brought up pretty much every day. But again, we will have to wait and see how this all is going to end up.
So, as you rightly pointed out, this is not just one interference from the Russians, but also from another power, that is the United States. Elon Musk is quite
our best friend
in this, in his comments. So, today the European Commission declined to comment on the process and on the electoral process and on banning Călin Georgescu from it. Do you think it's good or not? Should the European Commission take an active stance?
So at the very beginning, when all of this started, we had the backing of the European Commission as well as the backing of the United States, then a different administration, also France, most of our allies and friends. So as this is an ongoing investigation and we don't have the full picture, I don't know if the prosecution has it, I'm guessing they are gathering right now, I actually think it's a good idea to let's wait and see.
All right. For many decades, Romania was a very pro-Western country during the Cold era.
Yeah.
How about now, the Trump era? Do you see that stance could change somehow? This pro-EU culture is at risk?
A pro-EU culture, absolutely not. If anything, we are becoming more pro-EU. Romania traditionally and Poland, we have been very pro-America. You know, if you talk to my grandfather, he was always waiting for the Americans to come and save us. Well, revolution came, they came. Romania is a pretty much Americanized society. So we had this transatlantic partnership with the United States, a very powerful one. But now in the past 2 weeks, we're not so sure about it. Because we've seen comments, and I'm pretty sure our MFA, our embassy, has given the information to the Trump administration. And still, we have Vice President Vance calling it twice publicly in support of Mr. Georgescu. Although more and more evidence are coming up, not to mention Elon Musk and some other members of the administration. So just like everybody else, we must now start thinking of reshaping, redimensioning. Again, I'm hopeful and I really want our partnership with the United States to continue. We don't have better allies, and certainly the United States don't have better friends than Romania. We have American soldiers in Romania. We have American military base in Romania. I only hope this continues. But the rhetoric coming out of the White House has been somehow very disappointing. Mm-hmm. I mean, leaving Ukraine off when Ukraine needed them the most, this is like a stab in the back for us. Because if Ukraine falls tomorrow, next is Romania, Moldova.
How about an answer to those who claim that there is a coup in Romania right now?
I'm not sure how it can be a coup, since we have constitution, we have laws, the judges are functioning upon those laws. Right? Mm-hmm. And Mr. Georgescu has any chance to get a defense, to present his case in front of the judges. This is a standard judicial procedures. Just like he tried at European Court of Human Rights Court, and he lost a couple of days ago. He presented his case just like it happens in an independent judiciary where a rule of law sort of works. We had the Americans, I was saying this today, the Americans tried for 30-something years to teach Romania, this very young, fragile democracy, to be an independent judiciary, rule of law, a lot of money, a lot of project. And now we are finally upholding it. Well, it's no longer good.
Well, We need to keep fingers crossed for the upcoming elections in Romania, and all the best for the democratic process in this country. Thank you so much, Eusebiu Slavitescu.
Thank you for
Political analyst was our guest tonight. And that concludes this edition of World Talks. But please stay tuned to TVP World. Thank you for watching.